Hi, this is Ashley with The Polished Engineer, and thanks for joining me for the weekly tips and tricks. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. That way you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video. Today I'm going to talk to you about what to do if you're reconciling your inventory and a set goes missing. This is a question that I get fairly often. It's something that has personally been an issue for me in the past, and so I'm going to explain to you kind of what the question is, what the issue is, and then also how to go about fixing it. So let's say that I'm looking at my quantities tab and I have all these sets that are, according to my spreadsheet, should be in stock. I've filtered to just what's available, and all these say that they should be in stock. But when I actually look at my on-hand stock, some of them are not checking out. So let's say that it's this Tokyo Lights. My spreadsheet says that I should have 2 in my stock, but I don't have any. I can't find them. I don't know where they are. They went missing. And so the first thing you want to do is you're going to come over here to your Colorstreet Orders tab, and you're going to actually go and find those items. And so what I like to do is, if you already have the filter buttons up here, that's great. If not, you can click on this product name and then go to Data and just click Filter. And then from there, I can actually type in Tokyo Lights. And it will show me, okay, I have 2 Tokyo Lights that I ordered, 2 that I received, so I should, that looks right. That checks out with my orders. I think I have everything entered in my Colorstreet Orders tab, so all the information that I've entered is correct. Let's look over here on Inventory Adjustments. Pretty easy to just eyeball that and see, okay, I don't have any Tokyo Lights in there, so again, seems correct. And then I don't actually have any customer sales. I haven't sold any Tokyo Lights to anyone. So according to my spreadsheet and what I've entered, again, I should have 2. I had 2 on my Colorstreet Orders tab. I haven't sold any. I haven't traded any out. And assuming that checks out with all of your records and that you've actually entered everything else in there, then the question becomes, okay, well, according to all of my information, and I've entered it all properly, I should have 2 of them at my house, but I don't. I don't have any, and I don't know where they are. And so this is actually something that I've run into in the past, and I don't know how things work in your house, but I have a 9 and a 5-year-old daughter, and so typically what it looks like at my house is I keep all of my stock in one place in my office, and my kids like to go and look through my stock and occasionally just take a few sets out, and sometimes they use them or sometimes they just hide them away in their rooms. And so when I'm doing my cross checks, I am not coming up as things checking out, and instead they're probably hidden somewhere in my kids' rooms. So maybe for a couple months they're just missing from my inventory, and then a few months later we're doing a clean out of my daughter's room and suddenly I find them. So that typically happens fairly often in my house. So if you're ever missing a set, maybe go look in your kids' rooms. That's usually where mine are. But so what you would do is you would actually come over here to the Inventory Adjustments tab, and this is where I would recommend putting it. So let's say it's October 15th, 2021. I went and did my reconciliation, and I noticed that the 2 Tokyo Lights are not in my inventory. So what I would do is I would actually go in here and I would put Tokyo Lights in there, and I would put them in as a -2. And then in my notes, what I usually do is I write something like cross-check inventory, sets missing. And that way I have a note of what it is that I actually was doing here. And so once I put that adjustment in there, if I come over here to the Quantities tab, you'll see now they're no longer in my inventory, so they're not in stock anymore. But then I also have a way of quickly finding, because of the note that I wrote, I can quickly find those if for some reason I find them later. So again, this is probably the easiest and the best way to record it. That way you're able to put the note in. It just quickly takes them out of the inventory. Let's say that a few months down the road, like what happens to me fairly often, I actually find those sets and they haven't been used, and so I can put them back in my inventory. All you'd have to do is come in and look for the note, find that item, and then you could just delete that out, and then when I come back to my quantities, it's back in stock. So that's why I usually say inventory adjustments, the easiest place to put them, just because you can easily edit that if you need to in the future. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, thanks for taking some time to listen to these tips and tricks.